Hello, and good day, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr.
Welcome
Ivan.
to welcome to today's topic, empowering sustainability. My name is Ivan Chang, and I am from Malaysia. Now, sustainability is such a big issue in today's world. But the big question is our actions today leading us in the right directions? And will our future generations enjoy the same resources we are having today? Sustainability can be discussed in three interlinked areas, namely profit, that is to do with our economy, planet, which means our environment, and of course, people of society at large. Now, today we are honored to have with us three panelists who are going to share with us their views and opinions. Our first panelist, let me introduce him, and he shall raise his hand, is Terri Ghani from Malaysia. Hi, Terri.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Our second panelist, Jassmine Roy from Malaysia.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
And of course, our third panelist, Bob Ideaman Hooey from Canada.
How you doing, folks?
Hi, Bob. Hi, how are you doing, Bob?
Glad to be here.
Yes. Now, I shall start off with Bob. Before I start with Bob, let me have a short introduction of who Bob Hooey is. Bob Ideaman Hooey is an accredited speaker and author of several books on business and leadership. And most interesting, he was also a former professional kitchen designer. Now, Bob, let me ask you this question. I would like to ask you to share your views on profit. And my question to you is about delayed gratification. Can shareholder accept lesser profit today for a better tomorrow? Let me repeat. Can shareholders accept lesser profit today for a better tomorrow? Over to you, Bob.
There you go. For those of you who are Toastmasters, this is table topics. I think on the surface, given the situation that we're in, I would say yes, because I think at this point we need to be focused on sustaining the companies that we're running and the things we're doing, and that means occasionally you're going to be making less money because you're going to be putting money into other things. Like, for example, I don't know what happened over there, but over here in Canada, a lot of companies at the beginning of COVID ended up shutting down and sending people home, and a lot of them went home with no paycheck because they weren't able to be paid. So that's a big challenge, and part of the sustaining part of that is how do you still keep your company going during the challenge when you've been making maybe some decent profits. But I think it's a matter of looking at people first, profit second, to be sustainable in business around the world. And it's just what I notice as I travel, that the people who focus on what works in terms of taking care of their clients and what takes care of their employees will last longer as a company.
So, Bob, can you share a little bit more, especially that you have been in the furniture industry before? Now, what we understand is in furnitures, we have a lot of issues regarding raw materials that are not sustainable. So can you share more about that, since you have been in the furniture industries?
Okay, well, in any business, and I've been involved in a number of them over the years. In any business, a good supply chain is imperative to surviving. For example, one of the clients that I had here in Canada for a long time, for about 5 years, was a major national furniture retailer who obviously had to buy furniture from around the world, which meant that the people that they were buying furniture from had to have a supply of woods and materials to be able to manufacture the material and manufacture the furniture. So it's a supply chain breaks down in terms of not having what you need, then you can't supply what you need for your clients, which is the end result. But also, just to add something to the point, I think you also have to look at sustainability from the perspective of your employees and your executive, your training and stuff. For example, with these guys, they were doing fairly comfortable. They were doing about $700 million a year, which is a fair amount of money, but they seemed to be stuck. And I was brought in to work with their 22 vice presidents. And one of the things that I noticed is that the gentleman who had started the company from literally from nothing, had built it. And a lot of these people had been with him from the beginning. And there was a lot of loyalty between him and them. And, a lot of small amount of people were doing an awful lot of work. And I said to him, I said, guys, I think the problem you have with getting bigger and why you're stuck is you don't have the bench strength. In other words, you don't have the leadership to step up and take over to be able to seriously expand and do what you need to do. So we're going to come up with some ideas to work on that, but as well to expand the business. And we did. A year later, they broke the $1 billion mark because they had taken that to heart and worked hard about bringing the people up, which is just as much a point of sustainability, is to have the people that can do the work and make things profitable. I'm not sure how far you want me to go on that.
All right.
But, okay, well, thank you, Bob. We shall hear more from you later on. Now, let's move on to our second panelist to share, and that will be Jassmine Roy. Let me give you a short introduction of who Jassmine Roy is. Now, Jassmine Roy is a chemical engineer by training and a Malaysian delegate at the Global Goals campaign. Now, Jassmine, I have a question. I'd like you to share your views about planet or our environment. Now, can you share with me or share with us the significance of reducing or eliminating drinking straws to the planet? Let me repeat. Can you share the significance of eliminating or reducing drinking straws to the planet? Over to you, Jassmine.
Hi, thank you so much for the question, Ivan. So probably I'd like to answer to that. Essentially, drinking straws is an essential for most of us. So maybe we would want to look at plastic straws instead, reducing plastic straws instead. So a little fun fact, tentatively, there are over 500 million of straws being exposed into the ocean. And this amount can almost fit to about 127 school buses. That is the amount of impact that it has, right? And from this billion of metrics, only 9% is recyclable, and the balance is either incinerated or dumped to the landfill. Now, answering to your question, the significance there is convenience. But if you were to look at it from a long term, there are quite, I would say, two impacts that are needed to be really looked into. Firstly, mainly ocean. So essentially, when these straws, right, plastic straws essentially, they take a really long time to degrade because of the chemical content in the straws. So even when they do degrade, they break down into really, really small particles. And when they get consumed by these marine animals, eventually they have a hard time ingesting it, and it remains in their gut for a really long time, and that's, it impacts the whole aquatic life and will lead to billions of deaths in the ocean bed. But if you were to look at it from the human consumption perspective, for example, we consume fishes, right? So when these small plastics, they get broken down into microplastics, and when these fishes consume and we consume them, it somehow affects our food web, and it gets ingested in us as well. So this is a really significant impact to be really looked upon. And another impact would be climate change. So did you know plastics, right? Even though straws being straws individually like that, if you were to look at it holistically, it does somewhat affect climate change. When they do degrade, they release some kind of harmful gases, like greenhouse gases, and it somehow induces global warming. And this is really alarming because in reference to the 2 degrees threshold. Have you guys heard about 2 degrees threshold? Right, so it's the global surface temperature that we would want to not reach. Currently, our global surface temperature is about 1.16 degrees Celsius. So all in all, we're doing what we can together, all of us. We're trying to reduce, we're trying to maintain the overall global temperature to be within this 2 degrees threshold. Else, we're expecting global catastrophe. So essentially, bearing in mind these 2 impacts, and the significance, we could adapt to different types instead. Instead of plastic straws, we could choose other alternatives. There are bamboo straws available. Some has even created edible straws. Yeah, and there's so many other alternatives. It all depends on how we adopt to the habit. It may seem difficult at first, but everything is difficult once you try it, and over time it becomes easy. It's better putting in that effort compared to no effort at all. So yes, it is important. It is convenient. It is straws are important for convenience and hygiene purpose. But we may not necessarily use plastic straws. We could adopt to other alternatives instead. So that's my take, Ivan.
Thank you. Thank you, Jassmine. Thank you for the sharing. And last but not least, we have our third panelist, Terri Ghani. Now, allow me to share a little bit who Terri Ghani is. Terri Ghani is a keynote and TEDx speaker and humanitarian evangelist. Now, Terri, I would like you to share with us your view on people or society. Let me give you a scenario here. Now, I needed a mobile phone, but I want the latest, most advanced mobile phones. Now, the question is, we should satisfy, or rather the statement, we should satisfy our needs, but not succumb to our wants. Let me repeat. We should satisfy our needs, but not succumb to our wants. Terri, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ivan. Hi, everybody. I'm the most guilty person with that question. Why? Simply because I came from the branding, advertising industry, and I created amazing campaigns for people to buy things they don't need. I made crazy campaigns that will say, you gotta have this mobile phone, whether you can afford it or not. And that's who I am. So this is my karma. It's one full circle. So today, I've stopped advertising, I stopped PR. I'm in the business of helping convert the world to wake up and say, hang on, we don't need to buy a new mobile phone every year. We don't need the latest model because that's a status symbol. So with that, in my company, what we're doing is that we're working with technology partners. We believe that the only way you can change the world is you need funding. You can't do this because you got a great idea. That's not enough. You need finance, you need funding. So we're working with a company, I can't reveal the name because we've got NDAs with them, but they're amazing. They have created power generation technology that requires no battery, no solar, nothing. And what they're looking towards is addressing the mobile phone. So very soon, they'll be launching a solid state power generation system currently is about the size of about this size. It's pretty huge, and that's 30 kilowatts. They're heading towards producing one that will fit onto your mobile phone. Therefore, you will never ever have to charge. You will never have to have a battery that you need to change and pollute the world with lithium, iron, and all that. So that's where we come from. We come from the business of understanding what changes the world using business acumen and technology that's really radical and move that forward. And at the same time, we're also strong believers that you can't change the world overnight. So, I'm approaching 60, and I started Humanity Inc. Foundation basically to address the young people. And of course, at 60, everybody else is young. Except maybe some people in my company here, but a young lady here is obviously very young. And so the reason why we address young people is because we want to embed in them, motivate and inspire them to demand these kind of technologies, not say, oh, yeah, I can do with this phone because I want to change it again and again. Make them aware that there are technologies that do save the world and still make their life very convenient. So, and that's where the branding kicks in and the marketing kicks in a more positive way. And that's my contribution. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Terri, for the sharing. Thank you. Now, you have shared. Three of you have shared your views on planet, people, as well as profit. Now, I'd like to have the final questions here. It's a little bit political here, but don't worry, it will not be too controversial. So the question here is, let me give you a scenario first, okay? Now, in order to educate the people on sustainability, we needed to expose them to the latest information. However, in remote areas, especially in a lot of developing countries, the spending to build this infrastructure is such as power supply and broadband tower can never achieve, because they are small, can never achieve economy of scale. And on top of that, the continuous maintenance will bleed the national coffer. So the question here is, do you think it is worthwhile for our political leaders to go ahead with such projects? Now, this is an open question, and any of the panelists can share your view. How about Bob? Bob, would you like to share? Do you think it's worthwhile, for our political leaders to go ahead with such project, knowing very well that there is actually a negative ROI from this project, and it could be accused of something else as well? That is the critical part.
Okay. Well, I think the challenge that we have as leaders is sometimes you have to make hard decisions where, and this has been one of the things with COVID that has been really tough, is in some cultures, there's a lot of bandwidth and people have online and they can do, what we're doing with the Zoom and those kinds of things. But there's a lot of areas around the world where they don't have access to the internet or the machinery or the phones or any of that kind of stuff, so that they're essentially cut off and put away on the side waiting to see what's happening. But as a leader, it's important to say, what do I honestly think is the best for the majority of people, keeping in mind that some of the people might be disadvantaged, but what can we do to help them as well? But you need to take the larger view and then be aware of the smaller pieces, how they fit. And like, for example, one of the things that I've told people that are in business where they've had to lay off their staff, I said, even if you've laid them off, keep in contact with them so that you can check in with them, so they know that you care about them. Because most of them intellectually understand that their employer laid them off because they had no choice. Things shut down, People weren't allowed to go out of their houses, so it would make sense that a lot of the retail businesses and so forth weren't open. But let them know that you care, so that when time comes that you can reopen, which is starting to happen now, that you know you're going to reach out to them and bring them back in. So it's important if you're a leader to care about the people, but you need to communicate that as well when you're making tough decisions.
Thank you, Bob. Can we have Terri to share a few last words before we wrap up?
Sure, certainly. Thank you. Thanks, Bob. That was a great answer. Yes, Ivan, let me give you an example of a little-known country in South Asia, India to be exact. It's a little state called Sikkim. You can Google it, Sikkim. So in Sikkim, it's an agrarian county or agrarian state. It does nothing but agriculture. That's entirely agriculture. And as you know, if you are going to be the sort of rice bowl and the vegetable bowl or salad bowl for a country as big as India, obviously you would probably look at the best ways to try and ramp up your production of vegetables and rice and whatever you. So these guys were obviously using everything from GMO to fertilizers and pesticides and you name it, yeah, because they have a demand. And then one day the mayor came up and told his entire state's agricultural industry, right, I'm going to make a decree, and my decree is I'm going to convert this entire state of Sikkim to fully organic. So all the farmers looked at him and said, are you out of your mind? If we went fully organic, we'll all lose business, you know? It's impossible to do. And he said, fine, if you don't like it, leave the state. And that was so radical. And of course, everybody said, no, I can't leave the state. No, I own land here. And so they were forced. And over 3 years of toiling, they converted the entire state of Sikkim to be a fully organic agricultural center. So today, the economy is not just driven purely because it's agrarian, it's driven by the fact that the world wants to visit Sikkim to see the world's first fully organic county or state. And that is an extra income that the government didn't even see. And this is exactly why sustainability is so important. It's a business. If you do it right, it's profits for everybody, including planet Earth. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Terri. Thank you, Terri Ghani, for your sharing. Now, time's not permitting, so we are going to wrap up. And let me summarize that what we have, the take-home message today is that we have gathered. It is in order to find the true sustainability, it is an art of balancing between people, profit, and our planet. And I guess that balance will help us to find the true sustainability. Because if we are more towards any one of those, it will not help. So thank you very much. We have today we have with us Bob Ideaman Hooey, we have Jassmine Roy, and Terri Ghani. Thank you very much, and see you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan.
I wanted to say
Thank
hi.
you.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to jump in and thank you for this amazing conversation. Sorry, Terri, for the little glitch. I got some emergency and I couldn't put you on the screen, so sorry.
Okay, no worries.
But we heard your voice. Really sorry for this, and I hope the people are enjoying the session. We got a lot of comments. So here are a lot of things from Ampuzam: preparing for returning post-pandemic and be engaging with the customers, important for the reconnecting, and also share your innovative services. You have to include them. This is from Ampuzam Simonette. We have Patricia here. Patricia was greeting Bob, and she's saying, good point. Yes, leaders have to make hard decisions. That is why many people do not come forward to lead. Lovely to encourage employers to stay in touch with those who are laid off. So very nice point. Thank you very much, Patricia. And what else? We had a very long comment somewhere. Let me read this out because I think we have to read this. So as we become conscious as stewards of our Mother Earth, we must pay attention into these Homo sapiens actions and their implications on the lives of those that cohabit with man. Heightening and acting on these info as an individual action. Ozone damage from uncontrolled deforestation, in the name of affluence and profits, we have inadvertently, maybe Bob, you should read further. Please help me because I'm Hunglish. Please go on from the ozone damage. Can you continue, Bob, to read up the sentence from ozone damage?
Yeah, ozone damage from uncontrolled deforestation in the name of affluence and progress. We have inadvertently abused our future generations' legacy, which makes perfect sense. Rising water levels, flooding, soil erosions, volcanic activities rising, and hurricane impacts, and monsoons and tsunamis, I think.
Yeah, thank you very much. For me, first I have to understand.
and it was nice to see my friend Patricia Morgan on here.
Yes, he was greeting. She was greeting you that you are here. She just had a session before you. So I will wrap up this session. This is a wrap. Thank you very much for being here. Let me take away the comment so that we
thank you so much, Andrea.
Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ivan, for doing a good job.
Thanks, Ivan.
Thank you. Bye-bye. We are cleaning up the
Jasmine.
soon. So
bye-bye
you can
now.
just leave the room. Jasmine, stay here because your session is on.
Good luck with the rest of your day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Ivan. Thank you very much. Bye, Terri.
Bye. Oh, hang on. I'm the next session, am I?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, so I'm staying.
So Ivan and Bob, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
All right. So we will bring up all the others. This is already live, so hi and welcome in the live.
Hello.
Hello.
You can hear me this time, right?
Well, I'll bail out now. Have fun.
Hi, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, we have Derek here.
Hi,
and I think
Derek.
we are missing Ashley, Alicia, no? Alicia is not, Alia is not here, no? Is Alia also here?
Yeah, I think Alia was supposed to be with us.
Yes, Alia should be here. So I will catch Alia. And Jassmine, you just do the rep and we will go soon. Just try to introduce yourself to the audience for 1 minute until I get Alia. Bye-bye, audience. I leave you with these beautiful people and I will come from the background.
Hi, everybody. My name is Terri. I just did a session on sustainability. I run a small little organization basically focusing on children and love children because I have 4 children of my own. The oldest is 32 and the youngest is 10. So I do understand that a lot of questions are coming from fairly young people. So love it. Thank you. Anyway, back to Jassmine.
All right. I think we should wait for Alia, right, to get on board as well. Because I think our next session starts at 11, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Maybe
since we are live, the other 2 could introduce themselves while we're waiting.
Cool. Go ahead, Anis. Anis, go ahead and introduce.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Anis Wahida. I'm from EPAC LinkedIn Sales Solution. So excited to join Derek, Terri, Alia, and also Jassmine in this Wise Kids session. I only have 1 kid so far. My daughter is like 2 months old now.
Oh,
so I don't have any experience, handling tough questions from kids. So be nice to me.
We'll see. We're in for some fun later. All right, Derek.
Hello, everybody. Derek Mildred is my name. I am a social media coach specializing in LinkedIn and Facebook. And I am also a sensei in Kyokushin Karate, which I've been training at for 22 years, including teaching kids how to defend themselves for the last 15 years. So looking forward to hearing some of your interesting questions. It sounds like we're in for an interesting time. Thank you.
Yay. Oh, hi. For the benefit of the viewers here, I was in for the previous session. I'll introduce myself again. I'm Jassmine. I'm a recent chemical engineering graduate, and I'm one of the youth volunteers on board with Andrea. And I'm looking forward to see what this session holds in store for us. Yay. All right. So we'll have to wait for Alia, Alia, to get on board with this.
I'm still reaching Alia, so please also share a little bit about education and about kids and how you see kids today and how are they different from the kids back in the past, if you have some experience, and then we will go on in I think in around 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes.
All right. So essentially, right, so the session, kids being kids, they're curious about the world around them. And we want to see the light and perspective of things. So this session here, what we have here are a series of, oh wait, is that Alia? Is Alia? That's Alia. She's finally on board with us.
Hi, sorry, I was in.
Hi.
Hi.
All right. So can we start, Terry? Are we allowed to start? All right. So, hi and welcome everybody to the Wise Kids session. So, this session here is catered mainly. We have these questions from the kids, and with kids being kids, they are naturally curious about the world around them. And so, what we have here, instead of your ordinary interview questions, we have real questions from kids of age 3 to 12 years old. And we have these 4 amazing experts here on board to answer them. And so this will be a rapid fire session. And each question is to be answered within 20 to 30 seconds. So let's see how these 4 fantastic experts answer the curiosity of our little mindskins today. So let's bring in the first expert. We have Derek.
Yes.
Derek.
Yes.
Hi, Derek.
Hello, everybody.
So Derek, as you mentioned earlier, is an online social media coach, a karate master who can train your child to be the next karate kid, as he has taught self-defense for over 15 years now. Now he is tuned in and ready to explore the curious side of our little ones today. So Derek, here's your question.
I'm over 5 years old. I swear to wow.
Hello, Amara. Because that's how God developed the world. That's how God made the world round, and a beautiful world that it is for everybody that it beholds. I hope that helps.
All right, Derek. Thank you for that answer. Hope you got that, Amara. Little Amara is tuned in for some little space adventure someday. And let's bring in the next expert. We have Dato Alia. So Dato Alia is a CEO and an entrepreneur and has helped raise millions for various charitable causes both in Malaysia and overseas. Now today, she's climbing down the corporate ladder and is thrilled to answer some of our curious chatters. Dato Alia, here's your question.
Hai, nama saya Aki. Umur saya 7 tahun. Kenapa magnet tu boleh melekat?
All right, Dato Alia, that's a translation, Malay translation.
Hi,
You got that?
I've got a friend to help me answer your question. So, why does magnet stick, or kenapa magnet melekat? Well, I think it's actually one of the wonders, that has been created, and it just has this element inside, and surprisingly, the positive and positive don't actually click. It's the positive and negative. Just like us, we are of so many different races and culture and people and adults and kids. So Akid, we can all get together and click just like the magnet. Okay, so stay safe.
Amazing. Lovely register, Dato Alia. Let's bring in the next expert in line. We have Terri Ghani. So Terri, as you mentioned earlier, is a seasoned entrepreneur and a papa of 4 kids who created a foundation focusing on youths to make a change in humanity. Now he's all pumped up today to answer some of our wonders from our little friends. Terri, are you ready?
Yep.
Here's your question.
Hi, my name is Arav. I am 7 years old. My question is, how do aeroplanes fly?
Wow, that's a really tough question. Anyway, I shall answer that. Now, everything around us, obviously you like to fly, right? So everything around us, as we see it and what we can't see, is actually atoms. So if I shake my hand like this, there's actually atoms that's in there. The molecules of atoms are in there. So you can see that every time I do this, you can feel wind. And that's because I'm pushing the atoms away and it's coming to my face. So similarly, for planes, you've noticed that all planes have got wings, yes? So what happens is that if you push the wing on a plane and you move it fast enough, remember, all these atoms and molecules are touching the wing. And if you tilt it slightly up, the molecules and atoms hit the bottom and push it up. You can't see this, it's invisible. But if you do it fast enough, the whole thing has a lift and takes off, and off you go. And of course, if you switch off the engine, the plane drops, So a lot of people ask, Terri, but how come gliders can glide down? For the same reason. As the gliders glide down with no engine, what's happening is that all the molecules and atoms are actually holding it up, because it's still traveling at a speed, and because the plane is fairly light. So if you want to fly, make sure that you do have a plane or a parachute. Don't try and fly by yourself. That's not possible. Not yet. Okay? I hope that answers your question, Lara.
Nice one, Terri. Remember, Araf, it's no pixie dust, just pure science. All right, let's move on with Anis as our next expert on board. Anis, you ready?
Hey,
So,
yes.
Anis, before I start, is a graduate from one of the top flying schools in Russia and is currently part of the sales team on LinkedIn. She's ready to take off and soar with some of the kids' questions today. Anis, here's your question.
Hi, my name is Jarenton. I am 8 years old. My question is, unlike most other organs in my body, why my milk teeth fall down and regrow?
All right.
My biology sucks. Okay. So your milk teeth fall down because it wants to make a way for your permanent teeth to grow. Your milk teeth is not as strong as your permanent one. That's why as you grow older, you need to eat more food, all those steak, very tough meat. Yeah, you need strong teeth for that. That's why we need the permanent one.
All right. Thank
I
you
hope
for
it
that,
helps.
Anis. Yes, I'm pretty sure he got it. He got the answer. Thank you for that detailed explanation right there. So we're in for the second round. We're back to Derek with answering the question. Right. So here's your question, Derek.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Hope. I'm 6 years old, and I want to know how gum is made.
All right.
Hi, Hope, and thank you for that question. I'm assuming as a young 6-year-old, you may be referring to chewing gum. And if that's the question that you're asking, chewing gum is made from a variety of ingredients by manufacturers. And unfortunately, I do not know how chewing gum is made, or bubble gum for that matter. What I do know is the best thing about chewing gum and bubble gum is how good it tastes and how enjoyable it is. But make sure you throw it in the bin. Don't drop it on the ground because it gets stuck on your shoes. So,
that is so true.
Unfortunately, it's a hard question to ask, and I do not know the ingredients. But if anybody else can help me with that, that would be great. But I've never made chewing gum or bubble gum before, so that's probably the best answer I can give.
All right. Amazingly registered, Derek. You tried your best, and that was really well done. Okay, so let's move on to Terri.
I can help Derek with the answer.
Okay.
Yes, you're right. There are many ingredients, but the main ingredient is actually a gum, literally a sap from a tree. And that tree is available in Malaysia. Yes, it is. So it's a sap from a tree. And it's amazing to know that bubble gums come from sources like Malaysia. And of course, there are many other ingredients to make sure that it's soft and edible, make sure it's not toxic and all that. Yeah. So good for getting your teeth and gums and good teeth. See, I didn't have many bubble gums, so my teeth are crooked. So
oh, no.
That's not bubble gum. But less sugar, I hope. Less sugar.
All right. Okay, so Terri, you're still the next person online.
Oh,
so here's a question. Here's a question. You have another question?
Hi everyone, my name is Janice and I'm 9 years old, and my question is, how does smoking add a risk for broken bones?
Wow.
That's a tough science question there.
I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to give it my best shot, because I think in life, if you are faced with problems or challenges, you need to get up and rise to it. Even if you can't answer it, think through and see whether you can get the right answer. So here goes. Bones, yes, osteoporosis is a very long name. You can Google it. What happens is that when you take or smoke a lot of cigarettes, there are ingredients in the cigarettes, probably nicotine, if I'm not mistaken, does affect the quality of the calcium. And the calcium is what is needed to build your bones. So if you constantly bombard your body with things that actually attack or remove the building or the regeneration of calcium, then obviously your bones will not be strengthened, nor will they grow properly. And if you do smoke as a young person, by the time you're old, that's going to have a lot of havoc. And it's not just bones. And I should know this better because I was in the business of marketing tobacco. And today I have stopped that, and I'm trying to get young people to please don't even start smoking. That's the last thing you need to do. There's so many wonderful things out there you can do that's so healthy, like breathing. Fresh air. I mean, that's the best. That's oxygen, pure oxygen. So there you go. I hope that answers your question.
It's truly insightful, and I hope you got that, Janice. All right, so let's move on to Dato Alia with the next question.
My name is Joshua Atkins. I'm 12 years old, and what are microorganisms?
All right. Oh no.
Did you really ask me what a microorganism? Joshua, you're not 12. I'm sure you're not 12. Because I have no idea. All I know is two words, micro and organisms. So micro means they are extremely, extremely tiny. Okay, so there's really some tiny particles out there. Joshua, if you are in grade 6, move on to grade 7. If you're in 7, move on to 8. I'm giving you a promotion today for asking that question. Next question, Jassmine.
Really creative insight, Natwaya. Okay, let's move on to the next question. We have Anis. Anis is the next expert in line.
Hi, my name is Keisha. I am 10 years old. My question is, how do we save the earth?
Okay. Anis.
Wow. Okay. Nice question, Keisha. So there are a lot of ways you can save the earth. One of the things you can think about is through recycling, for example. So we have you use plastic bags, plastic bottles, even like cans, aluminum cans. Often every day you buy stuffs, right? So what you can do is that you recycle them. Even before recycle, maybe think about ways to not use plastic as much. Yeah, or maybe you can use it and repurpose it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that answer, Anis. And that marks the second round. We're in for more. Okay. Back to you, Derek.
Okay.
Oh, just to remind you guys, you have only 20 to 30 seconds to answer. So you got to think promptly and swift. Okay. So back to you, Derek.
Yes.
Question. Derek's question.
Hello guys, my name is Kenneth. I'm 10 years old and I want to know how petrol is made.
Hello,
There we go,
Kenneth.
Derek.
That's a great question. Petrol is actually made from oil, and that's why oil is refined so that we can run our cars and a lot of other parts of industry. Having said that, electric cars are becoming far more popular and much less polluting. So maybe look into those electric cars.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure Kenneth was hooked to his parents watching them fuel the car. So he was curious as how petrol is made. So hope that answers your question.
That's probably all I can say on that. It's
all right.
refined.
All right. Okay. So thank you for that, Derek. Next in line we have Terri again. Terri.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
So here's your question.
Hello, my name is Melvina. And I'm 6 years old. I have a question. Why my father is taller than my mother?
And Terri?
Hello, Melvina. Wonderful question. Well, it's not to do with whether your daddy is a man and your mommy is a woman. Everybody has different genes, and genes are basically like a building blocks, like Lego, that goes into our body system that actually takes us to become the person we become. So like me, I am the youngest of 6 children, and I am the tallest. I'm 6'2", whereas my other brothers and sisters aren't as tall as me. And if you look at my parents, both my parents are not very tall. So you ask the question, how come they're not tall and I'm tall? Well, because in genes, it changes all the time and it moves all the time. So it really doesn't matter who's tall or who's short. It's whether you love them very much. And I'm sure you love your parents very much. Thank you.
Oh, did not see that coming, Terri. Really thoughtful. All right. So we'll move on to the next question. Let's have Anis. Anis to answer. All right.
Okay.
Here's your question.
Hello, my name is Michelle Levy and I'm 8 years old. I have this question. Using handphone for kids is good or bad?
Nice one. I have a young baby right now. I think of not giving her any gadgets, but to one extreme, I think if you watch it, if you use your phone or gadgets with your parents or at your guidance, I think it's okay. You have to limit your time so that you won't spoil your eyes. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Anis, for that insight. I hope that answers your question, little one. All right. So we're in for a few more exciting questions. Let's have Dato Alia. Probably this is the last round. So, Dato Alia, here's a question.
Hi guys, my name is Oliver. I'm 5 years old. My question is, why is the sky blue?
Hi, that's so
Okay.
cute. Why is the sky blue? I think it's God's favorite color, firstly. Secondly, I think it's also, I always ask that question myself. So Oliver, I think the answer is also because the water and the sea is blue. So you get that reflection, and when you look up and you find the sky is blue, and it's such a beautiful color anyway. So it keeps you calm, okay, and it's really nice to look at, and it doesn't hurt your eyes when you look up to the sky. So, happy looking at the sky.
All right. Thank you, Dato Alia. And perhaps we could ask the birdies as well, since they're always up there. Why is the sky blue?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's see who have we. Let's have Derek. Yeah, it's your turn again. Let's bring in the next question.
My name is Robin and I'm 5 years old. My question is, why are people being so mean to one another?
Hi, Ryland. Thank you for asking me that question. Unfortunately, yes, sometimes some people, not everybody, and that's the important point to remember, not everybody is mean to each other, only a small number. So what I would suggest is don't worry about that small number. Don't worry about people being mean to people. Just focus on the rest. Focus on people being nice to each other. There's an old saying, treat people the way you would like to be treated yourself. And so, yeah, just look after your friends, treat people the way you'd like to be treated, and the world just becomes a beautiful place that it is.
Now, amazingly registered, Derek. As you know, it's really good to be, as adults, we need to show really good example to them and be compassionate with one another. As children, they mirror us essentially, and we would want to leave a really good positive impact on their safety and feelings as well. So thank you for that answer. Really well done. Okay, so we're in for some more, just a little more. Let's have Anis to have the next question answered.
Hi, my name
ready?
is Saira. I am 8 years old and my question is, how do we know our lucky number?
Okay.
Wow. I don't even know what's my lucky number until recently. I think I don't know. I think it's just like your instinct, whether certain things happen at the right time, and then, for example, today it's like 2nd of October, and then suddenly 2 is your lucky number. I guess.
Thank you, Anis. Well, I suppose for most people, we'd either look at our birthday dates and assume that is our lucky number. And that's one way to look at as well. But thank you for that answer, Anis. All right. So let's have Terri to answer the next question.
Hi, my name is Sean. I'm from Vaso, and my question is, who killed the dinosaurs?
Wow.
I'm sure you like this one, Terri.
Ali, you've got a dinosaur with you. You've got a little blue dinosaur. Right, Sean? We should ask you a little blue dinosaur. Sean, that's a really wonderful question. Yeah, there are many different theories about who killed the dinosaur. Some people said it's a pandemic. Some people said that it was an ice age. Some people said that there was a meteorite that hurled onto Earth and created this huge explosion that changed the weather and basically killed the dinosaur. So until today, the theories are still being discussed. Nobody is actually very firm. So the best thing is to watch those dinosaur movies. And I absolutely love the dinosaur movies because they give you characters that are so lovable and they teach us a lot of things about trying to keep our planet safe. Yeah, enjoy.
Thank you for that answer, Terri. Hope we can build a time machine to the Cretaceous period and see what it's like. Dinosaurs, am I right? Okay, so we have a few minutes left. We're in for some more. Okay, who would want to be the next person in line, probably, to answer? We've completed our round, essentially.
Can the dinosaur answer some questions?
The dinosaur? Okay. All right, let's have the dinosaur answer the next question.
My name is Stephanie. I am 11 years old. I wonder why mothers can cook so tasty food.
Okay, and go.
Dato' Alia's answering, right?
Yeah, I think it's...
In the dinosaur voice.
Oh no.
She's frozen.
What happened? She's frozen.
Ice age. She's frozen.
Too tasty.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. Something was wrong. Could someone repeat the question for me?
Can we have the question being replayed again, please?
My name is Stephanie. I am 11 years old. I wonder why mothers can cook so tasty food.
All right.
Okay. I think I know that answer because my mom can cook very well and she cooks very, very tasty food. You know why? Because she loves us very, very much. I think all mothers cook very well and your food is tasty to you because mothers cook with so much of love. They love their family, so despite the fact that they are working and things like that, okay, and even if they have to work, they have to clean the house and look after you, they still, when it's time to cook, they know they need to feed you so that you can grow to be big, tall, friendly, and strong, and they want to take care of the entire family, and so they put in so much of love that the food comes out super delicious. So enjoy your mommy's cooking and don't forget to tell her thank you. That's from the
Excellent.
bonus.
Excellent point of view, Dato' Alia. Indeed, mother's love is the extra ingredient that makes our food so tasty. Okay, now all good things must come to an end. So that essentially marks the end of our session, everyone. So to conclude, right, kids, they can never stop wondering and asking. So by them asking is their form of learning. And a round of applause to these wonderful kids out there for participating with us today.
Thank you very much. We have two more questions if you want to, because we still have until 35. So I uploaded the 2 more questions. We can go with that and then we'll finish, because you still have time. You made very good timing here.
Okay. So we're back on board. We have 2 more questions. Did not see that coming. All right. So who would want to be the next expert in line?
Ask the question and we'll all jump in.
Okay, so let's have the question then.
My name is Adya. I am 7 years old. My question is, why should we grow plants?
Why should we grow plants?
Little environmental heroes out there. Anyone? Terri, perhaps? Or Natalia?
Okay, yes, that's a lovely question, and I absolutely love plants. My whole house is full of plants. Just remember that the plants are the ones who actually take in and produce amazing chemical reactions that allows the world to breathe. If you chop down all the plants, we will not have the oxygen that we need so much to breathe. And when we talk about plants, it's not just plants on Earth, but also the plankton and plants in the sea. So we must take care of both the land plants and the sea plants. So if you have time, grow some plants at home. Even if it's tiny, grow more plants, okay?
Thank you for that, Terri. So I think we have one last question left to be answered. Right, let's have it.
My name is Faith and I'm 8 years old. And how does a remote work for a TV?
Another science question. So who shall we have? Anis, perhaps? Would you like to take this one?
Yeah. So basically, on your remote there is a transmitter, like a device to transmit the signal when you press any buttons on the remote, and then on the TV there's a another device, like a small device to receive that signal. So whenever you press any buttons on the remote, that's how the exchange of I would call information between the remote and the TV. That's how you change channel, change volume, and things like that.
It's like the magnet.
Right. Yeah. Okay, I think that really sums up our question. Andrea, is that the end? Do we have some more to say?
That's the end. I just want to say a big thank you. You were approaching all the questions from a very nice angle. I hope the audience was enjoying it. I saw a lot of nice comments, so I come back with the comments so that you can see. So kids are turning us all into chemists, environmentalists, engineers, and all those limitless roles to play when answering the question.
Oh yeah, just one more though. We'd like to a round of applause to all of our experts here for being able to answer all of the questions. Successfully answering all of them without dodging. That's really an achievement right there.
You did a super nice job.
Good job, everyone.
Ampusam is saying that in the olden days, the parents chose the taller men to marry their daughters. Science response is the DNA determines the height of people. How tall are the people? So that was her comment. And Maria is saying your panelists and Jassmine have a great way with kids. Good job all, and especially the kids with their intriguing questions.
All right. Maria is actually my auntie right there. So thank you so much, Ate, for tuning in.
I was also reading that the parents are also watching us. So I just would like to say thank you also for the parents, because this wouldn't have been possible if they don't allow us to ask the questions from the kids. So thank you very much, because I feel we shared something very important with the audience, and you could see how the new generation is. Like, I never wondered about these things when I was 6 years old. I have to say that my generation didn't even know about this. And now we see the kids already so young age knowing about even remote control or mobile phones or all these kind of things, right? Microorganism. When was I talking about that? When I was 5, right? So thank you very much, guys. We are heading up to the next session. Terri and Dhyvia are already waiting in the background, and they will already jump here live. Thank you for this session. Please, all the audience, give a round of virtual applause for all the experts. And thank you very much. We see you soon in other sessions. And
Thank you. Thank you
have
very
a
much,
beautiful
everyone.
day, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you for the questions.
Yep, bye.
Hi, Terri. Hi, Terri.
Hi.
You're live already. Hi, Terri.
That was
Waiting
such a fantastic session. Can I tell you? Beautiful job by the panelists answering those questions.
Yes, it was already very tough questions sometimes, right?
It made me think that I was really grateful to do this session and not the one that just went a while ago.
Exactly. Hi, Dhyvia. Dhyvia is here too.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. How are you today? All good?
I'm good. Sorry, I just got back from the hair salon, so yeah, my hairstylist took a little longer than usual. Thank you.
Beautiful. So we have a few minutes with the audience before you start your session. You know, we go live. We are already live, but we start your session at 11:40. So tell me a little bit about yourselves. Tell me about Terri. Who is Terri and who is Dhyvia? Just in a short while so that we can fill up the time until 40.
Not a problem. First of all, let me just say congratulations, Andrea. I can't imagine how you put this entire summit together, over 100 experts. I mean, kudos to you on doing such a fantastic job, and thank you for having me. Terri Karelle hails from the beautiful island of Jamaica. Right now it is nighttime on my side, so I say good night from Jamaica, but good morning to those of you on that side of the world. In Jamaica, I am an event host. I'm a TV presenter as well as a speaker. And so it is an extreme honor, just a privilege to be able to moderate this session, which is about, you know, young people in entrepreneurship. So I'm extremely excited.
Thank you very much, Terri. Thank you. And Dhyvia, a little bit about you. Dhyvia, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot that the mic was on mute.
We practice on the go. I do this for 2 months now, so it's okay.
Very simple. I'm a full-time undergraduate student. I'm a young entrepreneur who just started her journey in the entrepreneurship and 5 months ago. And I'm a passionate content writer, and my biggest dreams is to be on National Geographic magazine.
Nice. Very, very good.
Yeah.
So we have amazing experts here. Already Dhyvia is an entrepreneur, so they will share about their journey and they will exchange their experience. And we already enable Dhyvia also, because Terri is an experienced entrepreneur already. So you can already help Dhyvia to help her with some tips. And Dhyvia can give you the young perspective, which makes the session very, very exciting. One more question. What do you think is empowerment? Because we are at an empowerment summit and we would like to change the narratives. So what is empowerment for you in one sentence, Terri, and what is empowerment for you, Dhyvia?
For me, empowerment is unlocking and unleashing your truest potential in its purest, fullest form, whatever it looks like. I believe that is what empowerment is.
For me, it's very simple. If I am given the opportunity to do something, that others don't get to, I promise myself that I will be the person that pushes the other person to do the same thing that I'm doing. That is empowerment to me. Giving the equal opportunities for people and bringing others up as you grow is, yeah, that's empowerment to me.
Thank you very much. I think we will hear a lot of definitions. I'm interested in all the people's definitions. We will watch back all the videos. We will collect these together, and we will create the new definition after the summit that is coming from all of you and all of the people who are attending. I let you here. I'm leaving the stage, and have an awesome session.
Thank you.
Interact with the audience. And
Thank you. Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Andrea. Okay, so Dhyvia, I had the opportunity to do a session with you. And for the viewers who might be watching, Dhyvia tried to convince me that she prefers to be behind the scenes. But I'm sure when you see her personality and you hear her answers, I think the viewers will not be convinced just as how I was. So again, if you're who Dhivya is, she's a full-time undergraduate student who is actually pursuing a career in mass communications, majoring in public relations. And she mentioned earlier that she is extremely passionate and excited about being a content creator, to the point that she is currently a co-founder of her company Restory, which is allowing brands to reimagine and to retell their stories in a very engaging manner. Did I get that right?
Yes, absolutely.
and she hails from the beautiful country of Malaysia. So if we have any Malaysians who are our viewers, we say welcome, welcome. So Dhivya, let me start out with you. First of all, did you ever imagine, we just saw a session with youngsters asking all of these different questions. And you had said growing up, you wanted to be a psychologist, a dentist, a doctor, a scientist. Did you ever imagine that you would want to be, and not just want to be, but you would be in the content space?
Not until I was 17 or 18, yeah.
Not until you were 17.
Definitely.
And what was the inspiration? What was the catalyst that made you say, all right, this is my niche, this is what I want to do?
Okay, so when I was 17, here's a little backstory. I used to write cute little, what I call poems for all my girlfriends. I just feel like, oh, her smile is so beautiful. I would write a 4-line thing and give it to them. And they would always tell me that it brightens up their day and it makes their day. So that's when I realized, like, you know what? Maybe I should do this. Maybe this is what I want to do. Maybe I could just brighten up a lot more people's day, maybe thousands of people, or maybe hundreds of people. So yeah, why not, right?
Right. All right. So let me ask you this. You are young, you are female, you are from a background, a racial and cultural background that is Indian, and you want to be a writer. So there's so much stereotypes when it comes to being a young entrepreneur, a female entrepreneur. If you're Indian, then you should be a techie or a doctor. Across the world, that's the stereotype. So I want to know, did you ever feel bombarded? Did you ever get those types of comments? And if you did, how were you able to just kind of brush it off?
Very simple. My mom did her undergraduate study in law. My dad is an electronical engineer, but they never forced it on me. So they just let me do what I want. And even if my relatives ask me, why are you not doing doctoring? Why aren't you doing medicine? I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I mean, I think I can earn some bucks if I do something else also. So I don't have a problem. And I love doing what I do. I don't want to get up every day and be like, oh God, I have to go to work again. No, I want to get up and say, yes, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to slay my work. And I'm going to come back home like a boss and enjoy my day. So, yes.
And you're going to be passionate about it.
Yes, exactly.
So what is your advice for youngsters? And it doesn't even have to be youngsters, but for this particular session, what is your advice for youngsters who want to enter spaces but have all of these notions that, maybe it's not the position or the type of job that society thinks is going to be a good one or a necessary one? What's your advice to them?
If it gives you money, go for it. If you know that you can make bucks out of it, go for it. If you don't take the chance, how would you know that, if you don't shoot your shot, you won't get anything. So why don't you just, even if you're blindly shooting, probably you will get one bullet through the bullseye. So just shoot. Doesn't matter. Just go for it. And personally, I'm a very insecure person, and I would definitely say put your insecurities aside. Even if it's with you, even if it's always there, just try to tone it down a little bit, just a little bit, so that you can take the next step on growing. It's all about growing. When you go out of your comfort zone, that's where you grow. And taking, just doing it is going out of your comfort zone. So yeah.
And it's funny you said that, because I literally wrote a blog today, and it was about, being fearful does not make you a failure. It just makes you a human. But being able to do it anyway, doing it scared, that's what makes you a beast. And so that's really what you are just getting at. So here it is, you're young, early 20s, we would say milk is still around your mouth. What's your definition of success? What does it look like, and what does it feel like to you?
To me, success is when I can come home, be relaxed. I don't have to think about my barriers, financial barriers, or anything. I just want to be free. If I'm free, I'm successful to me, because I have this deep need to be successful. So to be free. So if I'm free, then I feel like I've already succeeded. Yeah.
Absolutely. So here it is, you come together, you are 4 friends, each with a strength. You have the writer, you have the videographer, the photographer. You guys come together and you decide you are going to launch Restory. So I want you to explain what was the reasoning behind it, and how important is it for entrepreneurs to understand a need and create a solution in the space?
Okay. So the reason why it's 4 of us is because we have personally worked with each other before. And whatever that we have worked with, we had great chemistry, great understanding. Even though there were difficulties, we made through it as friends, as partners. And we were the dynamic team. We were the 5-star team. So I had to keep that with me. And that is why we just started. I don't want my 4 friends to be in 4 different places, and me wishing that I just, got into the same company as them. I can't do that. So the only way I can get that is starting on my own. So yes.
Right. And what was the reasoning behind it? So here it is, 4 of you guys came, you said you're gonna work together, you come up with this amazing name, which is Restory. But why? What is the purpose of Restory?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of brands they probably start with something, and then maybe they just want to feel like they could have started with something else. They want to rebrand their voice. They want to say something, maybe change the way they talk to their customers and all of that. So I believe that is the reason why we started Restory in the first place, to help brands to restory their whole narrative. So yeah.
All right, and so what I would like you to do now is walk me through it, because being an entrepreneur is not what it's all cut out to be. Sometimes we look on Instagram, we look at social media, people say I made 6 figures, I became an entrepreneur, and look at me now. And so everyone goes, I can be an entrepreneur. But then usually, and you said you're just in 5 months, what are some of the myths or the ideas that you had before that you've kind of changed now that you are an entrepreneur?
Before I started, I thought my mom's friends, my mutual friends will definitely give me business. If I jump in and say, hey, I do this, you want to do it? You want to give me clients? You want to do it? No, they're going to be like, okay, I think about it. And then it's just blue tick. And then you would shoot your shots to big people. And then you call them up and be like, what I thought it would be is that, if I call, they're going to be like, okay, you know what? We should meet up and maybe we can discuss a few things. But definitely no. They're going to be like, oh, okay, you know what? Just send me what you're all about, and then we'll see and then it's blue tick all the way. You can send 20 messages, they're probably going to block you. And the third one is the mic drop one, I would say. I thought I would make big bucks.
See, you thought you were going to make the six figure.
Yeah, yeah. I thought, I was like, okay, so 5 months probably will make 2,000 per month, minimum with one client, and then there's 2,000, there's 4 of us, 500 each, and then for 4 months it's already 2,000. I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that, but we're still pretty much broke. There's 13 bucks in my account. Yes.
Pretty much still broke. And funny enough, that's where a lot of entrepreneurs sometimes don't want to start out. They don't want to start out small, and they don't understand that this takes a lot of time. It takes patience, it takes consistency, and just keep on going. Now, someone, Cheryl, hi Cheryl, thank you for watching, just said, that is a great point. The one that you made, which was number 1, saying that friends and family won't necessarily buy in to your vision. And so my question to you is, when you start to notice that, hey, the support is not necessarily coming from the places and spaces I thought it was, where do you guys get that audacious attitude to keep each other going so that that rejection does not, eat away at confidence?
The amount of support I get doesn't determine my value.
Oof.
Doesn't matter if somebody supports me or not. I'm just going to keep doing. The amount of support I get doesn't determine my value and my worth and my credibility of being a content creator or content writer. So even if I get 0 support, I'm going to go and do it. If it's something good, definitely if it's something bad, I won't. I mean, if it's something beneficial, something that will make me grow, doesn't matter. I'm just going to go. And it doesn't matter if I'm going to be broke. I would definitely get a part-time job. No problem.
You get a part-time job to supplement it, but you would still continue. And I think, a lot of persons underestimate the resilience and the wisdom that young persons have. I think the traditionalists still think that, you have to be really old, really experienced to have, wisdom. And yet still you're here, in a very young vessel saying, hey, rejection is going to come. Failure is going to come. It's going to look very different across the board, but it does not diminish what I bring to the table. And I think that's extremely powerful. And I hope anyone who is watching will actually, take that and run with that. So you just spoke about the myths that you busted up, that not all your friends and family will support you, that you start businesses and it's a no-brainer. They're going to be like, sure, I will support. And you said the third one was that you'd make, a lot of money. So my question is, when it comes to collaborating and choosing the right persons to partner with and to do business with, a lot of persons say you don't mix business and pleasure. It's one of the rules that people say, oh, you don't want to mix business with pleasure because the lines get blurry, relationships, are tested, because as a partner, as a colleague, sometimes you have to step in and reprimand, but that's your friend. So then my question is, how do you balance personal and professional relationships between your friend who have now become, business partners?
The thing is that I'm very grateful that my 4 business partners are all my friends, and we are very, let's just say we're a little more mature for our age. Yeah. Friends is friends, work is work. When we're working, we're co-workers. And if I get mad at something that you do, if I'm unsatisfied with something you do, I'm going to say, man, I'm unsatisfied, buck up. But probably when we're after work hours, we're going to go out. I'm going to put my hand over my friend's shoulder and be like, I have a coworker who is so bad. And then he's probably going to say like, yeah, my boss is so just crappy. She's pure bullshit. And I'm not going to get offended by it because we're friends. And you need to draw the line. It's never a gray area. It's black and white. Work is work, friends is friends. And if you cannot find people who cannot accept criticism, then I don't see how you can grow together as partners. So cut off those people, get people who can work with you, get a team that will understand you and just help you grow as a person.
You couldn't have said it. You couldn't have said it any better. I think going into relationships, business relationships, can be really tricky and risky when you go in with a friend. But we're hoping that if that person is your friend, they also respect boundaries. They respect their roles and what is expected of them. Emotional intelligence is always going to be important.
Yes.
And absolutely. And I think you need people who are surrounding you who won't take things personally. They can compartmentalize and realize that it's for the best. It's for everyone's growth here. Everyone stands to win.
Yes,
if everybody
exactly.
goes up. So I think that's also very good to see, because there are persons who probably think, young entrepreneurs, it's just their buddies, their pals, but there's no work ethics and thought that goes into it, unfortunately. And has that been your experience?
Yeah, to add on to work ethics, it is very important to say this. Even if you're the boss and your friend is, let's just say, two co-founders who are unhappy with each other, there shouldn't be disrespectful conversation. That disrespectful, insulting conversation can be with friends because we take it as a joke. But as co-workers, you need to respect each other at an equal level. And even if it's your employee, they're also human. You should talk to them. If you're unhappy, make them sit down and say, look, I'm very unhappy. Let's fix this. Or tell me how to fix this. That's how it should be. Not just plain off insulting, saying, get out of my office, kicking the table, slamming. No, that's not how it works. So I think I strongly believe in this ethic. So yeah.
It has been said and observed that younger companies, the startup companies, are the ones that have that whole leveled playing field where, the offices are open concept. There is no idea of the boss is the boss and I'm the leader and I have the penthouse view and you get out of my office. And people say because there isn't that tier and that hierarchy, you find that persons feel as if they're more a part of the bigger vision that is the company. How important do you think it is to still have your leadership qualities, but to be able to give everyone access and the ability to give input?
There's a difference between a boss and a leader. A boss just instructs. A leader will guide you, will stand with you, and walk with you. So I think the only way that I can keep my leadership, let's say, position is if I walk with my friends, I go through the same struggles as them, I do the work, I get down on the floor and hands-on do what they do and feel what they feel. Then only I will know what else I can do to make them better the next time. So yeah, I think it's simple.
Brilliant.
I think being a leader.
You're brilliant, right? If no one has told you recently, let me just let you know that you are brilliant, and I'm so happy that I had the opportunity to meet you. Let me just drop that in there.
I am beyond grateful that I've had this session with you, and I'm so happy I can do like a little dance right now.
Dance. Let me ask you another question, and this is where it gets a little bit, depending on if you're speaking to traditionalists. We've seen the word ageism come up, where everything seems to be focused on the youth, and they're younger, they're fresher, they have better ideas, they have more to offer. You do have a lot of persons who think that, and there are some young entrepreneurs, in my opinion, who do startups, and they do away with the idea of experience and wisdom that older people bring. So as a young entrepreneur, are there any persons in your space that you look to, that you regard as mentors, whether they're virtual mentors, whether they're real mentors, and how important is it to take experience from those who have gone ahead of you?
For a mentor, I can say my dad. My dad used to have his own engineering business. He was a one-man show.
Oof.
And it was him and his sibling.
Mm-hmm.
and they were doing great stuff. So I think I just look up to him, and I know that there were bad days, there were good days, but it never changed him. He may be making millions and he may be making zero, but he was the same person. And I believe that I should really look up to that, because it doesn't matter how much is in my bank. I could go broke the next day. I could lose my house the next day. I could be pretty now, I could be ugly later, but it's what's inside. And that's the most important thing that I've learned from my dad when he was doing his business.
Absolutely. And so it's also important, and I think it's important for persons who are looking to step into the space, is to not do it blindly, but look at persons who have come ahead of you, because most times they leave breadcrumbs, and they leave the breadcrumbs that you can use to figure out where are the gaps, you know, what was it that they didn't do that I can do better. And I think the fact that, I think if your dad, well, I'm almost positive that your dad looks at you now and is extremely proud of the person, you know, that you are. So where do you see Story in the next 5 years? Because 5 years
Can I
very
get imaginative here?
You can be as imaginative as you want, no limitations.
Okay, let me get ready. Okay, so in 5 years, I hope, I pray that Story gets a special, how to say, you know, the TV show contracts with National Geography, where me, my videographer friend, my PR friend, and my other friend, the four of us are going to run that Animal Planet show, or the National Geographic show, where we go to South Africa, we go to Switzerland, or I don't know, anywhere, and we just film. And then, like, it's either me and my friend, the two of us, hosting the show, showing animals, like, look guys, look here, look there. I mean, that would be amazing. In 5 years, if Story goes there.
No, so first of all, and I'm sure persons can leave it in the comment, if you visualize it, you can materialize it. And if you can imagine, it is absolutely possible. In fact, you could do it in less time. You could do it in less time. But I think what is brilliant about your answer is the fact that you said, me, my friends, my partners, my co-founders, we're all traveling together. We've seen over, you know, a period of time, sometimes somebody, you know, gets to be a hot shot and leaves, you know, flies the coop, and everyone kind of separates. But it's nice to know that even 5 years down the road, you still see sustainability and viability where your friends are concerned and your partners are concerned.
Of course, we are friends. We don't leave each other behind, you know, like, we're family. So friends that eventually turn into family, you never leave those people behind, no matter how successful you are. And even if I'm broke, even if I don't have a penny in my pocket, I know that if my friend is traveling, he gets this great chance, and he knows that I would love to be there. And if he is capable of bringing me there, he would definitely do it, because I would do the same for my friends. So
that's very impressive. That's very impressive. Dhivya, give me one word that describes you before you were the entrepreneur, and one word that describes you now that you are the entrepreneur.
Before, I was 100% insecure. Now, probably 75% insecure.
75%. Because insecurity doesn't always go away. I mean, self-doubt is gonna be with you until, you know, there's no more breath in your body. I think it's what you're able to do, regardless of the self-doubt, that really determines who you are, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because insecurities is important. I think so. Yeah, it's important, because that is when you know what you're fearful of, you know what you feel like you're not good enough, and that way you can probably work on making yourself better. But don't let it get to here, or here, especially here. Don't let it get to here. If it's here, still can manage, but don't let it get to here, because it breaks you inside. If it's here, you can still manipulate it and play games with it.
Right. So, yeah. It's interesting because perspective is everything. Perspective is everything. and that some persons take insecurity and it can paralyze them. As you say, if you're not careful, it will literally swallow you whole and you'll just be in a state of paralysis, stagnant.
I'm not going to deny that I've been there. There were days where I couldn't get off the bed. I feel like I just can't do this. Would I fail a subject? But then that was 2 days. And then third day, I was like, enough of this. Get your butt up, do it. Doesn't matter if you fail, but at least you know you did something. Yeah.
Absolutely. 3 things, 3 advice, your top 3, advice or tips for persons who are maybe starting up, maybe considering, maybe they're now sitting down trying to put these things together. What are or 3 of your biggest lessons, if you will, that you'd like to share?
Have a great support system. Know who supports you and keep them close. And second is that never ever give up. Success doesn't come in 5 months. It doesn't come in 2 years. Some are lucky if they get it in 2 years. Some are lucky if it's in 5 months. Who knows what's your journey? Success is not a destination. I'm not going to say, okay, in 45 minutes, I'm going to reach success. No, it's a journey. So,
in our wrap session, you also mentioned communication. You also mentioned that having healthy communication. Would you like to expound on that?
Yes. Third tip is, if you're working in a team, communicate. If you're unhappy about something, say it out loud. If you're happy about something, say it. If you're proud of somebody, say it. If you feel like they can grow, tell them, because healthy conversations, healthy communication is very important, so that our heart doesn't go, dark, and you have all this ego, you have all this, unhappiness, jealousy. All of that makes you makes your heart very dark. If you talk it out and you communicate effectively, there wouldn't be a need for that darkness. So definitely communicate with everybody.
You're extremely impressive. Usually, outside of your father, and you are a content creator, if there is one person, legend, icon in this world that you could, any one being that you could have the opportunity to sit down and to feature or to write about, to really dig in, to get that story that Dhyvia says she always goes for, who would it be? What would that being be, and why?
Okay, this is going to be weird. Remember what I told you previously? People are going to be like, which is crazy. Okay, so firstly, I want to sit down with an owl and interview it and say, like, what really goes on in your mind? You're sitting there majestically, you don't have ego, you're very wise, you look wise, but what really goes on in your head? I want to know, because I can't Google that. I can Google that. If somebody wants to interview me, they can go Google me, and then they probably see a bunch of stuff. So you kind of have already got some idea. But has anybody wrote anything about an owl and what goes on in its mind?
Probably only National Geographic, which is why you want to work there eventually. Probably.
Yes. So the other thing is definitely, the other person is Steve Irwin. I grew up watching his shows. I loved him. I was.
And that's the crocodile hunter for those persons.
Yes.
The crocodile hunter for those persons who might be like, who passed away a few years now.
I think many years ago. I was very young, and I remember a big part of my childhood was watching his shows and all of that. So I would definitely bring him back, because I can say that he's one of the reasons that I wanted to do this. I loved what he was doing. He was such a, free spirit, and I like that. I feel like that's me. I want to be like that. So definitely I would bring him back, sit him beside me, and just probably hug him for 2 minutes and then start talking.
And then start asking the questions. So this theme is I create my future. This is the young entrepreneurship session where we are saying that, as youngsters, we create our future. How important is it for youngsters to realize that they actually have the power, regardless of their age, to do just that?
I mean, what is stopping us? What is that? Is that maybe like, if you want to do something, just go tell your parents. It doesn't matter. Maybe they might not be supportive in the beginning, but if you put some effort and they see it that you love doing it, definitely you get some support. And you asked about why we should just start, right? How will you grow if you don't start? You want to grow, you want to make it big. Doesn't matter if you want to start as account manager in Netflix, social media, Facebook, or you want to create your own website, your own social media platform, brand new Snapchat 2.0 or something. But you have to start somewhere. So have that big dream, big idea in your head, but don't just look at it. Make sure you know what you have to do before you reach it. So you can't just straight jump like, okay, I'm going to jump. When I say start, I don't mean straight jump into it. Start. Take baby steps. It's a ladder. You have to climb. That's where you get to your big dream.
Right, brick by brick.
Yeah.
I think sometimes that's what paralyzes persons, because they have a bigger picture, and there's nothing wrong with having a big picture, but sometimes they see the big picture and they go, well, how am I going to get there? But all they need to do is take it brick by brick, step by step, and you'll eventually realize that you can, in fact, get to that level. Let me ask you this question. I've seen it in the space a lot, and it's across the board. Persons tend to say that young entrepreneurs have the resilience, they have the ideas, they're fresh, they're creative, but they don't always have good work ethics, whether it's punctuality, whether it's knowing how to put yourselves together. Some young entrepreneurs think, well, this is who I am, so I'm going to show up however I am because this is my personality. What are some of the things that young entrepreneurs have to think of when you start your business? It's not just about having a product and having a service, but making sure that your work ethics also they're just as important, if not more important.
You can be whoever you want, but you have a brand. You want to show up, and you don't want somebody to say, I met this girl, she was so rude. She showed up, she said hi, then she sat down, then she said, look, this is my way, let's deal with it. Or do I want the person who met me to say, you know what, I met this girl and she was so pleasant, I was so comfortable with her, and maybe I think she's a little introvert, but she did try her best. That is definitely a better impression than being like, this. Yeah. I'm an introvert.
Right. And I think as you rightfully said, I think it's important for persons to realize that you could be the best person in a particular industry. You could be the most amazing expert in a particular space. But if your soft skills are not good, or your brand experience that you create for your clients and your potential clients, if that's not good, then your abilities count for naught. So punctuality, respect, not stealing clients, which we spoke about in our wrap session. Can we touch that in terms of young entrepreneurs who might be interning or doing some form of work for businesses that they could eventually conflict with? How important is it to maintain a certain level of professionalism where you don't steal clients? That's one.
Okay. Let's just say you're going for a recess with a friend. Okay, you're having lunch together. Your friend, your friend teaches you, says that, hey, look, I know how to make this pizza. I have this pizza, but I have the money to buy this pizza. So it's amazing. You should try it. You should save up, and you should eventually buy this pizza. and the friend gets up and he lifts his money there. He leaves it on the table. Would you take it?
It's not cool.
Exactly.
It's just not cool. It's just not cool to do.
It just represents who you are. It's very important. If you're going and interning in a place where you feel like, okay, in the future, I'm going to open a company just like this and probably bigger, it's important for you to learn what they're doing and not jeopardize them. Don't hit somebody else's rice bowl. If you know you can do it, then do it on your own. Why do you have to steal? If you're that capable, do it on your own. Don't steal. Stealing clients is just...
It's not cool. It's just a no-no. And I don't think it doesn't ever work out well for you, because eventually you start to build a reputation, whether you know it or not. People start to talk in spaces, and it just it never looks good on you. And just to add to what you said, it's okay to learn from businesses that you're working for, but don't copy.
Yes.
Put your own twist. Use your own perspective and your own lenses to really make your own mark. I think that's what story.
Yeah, definitely. So if I call myself a content creator and I copy somebody, I'll be a content copier, not a creator. You know? Get what I mean?
That's true. And imitation is not the best. Is not the best form of flattery, guys. Like, do not imitate. Create, because you are in fact unique. So Dhyvia, I think we're running out of time, but I have a Patty who asked a question. What is your advice for young entrepreneurs who want to venture into business? For example, financial aid, support, maybe a business plan. You know, what's your advice?
Definitely take some time. If you have partners, speak to them. And if you are not financially stable, like for example, I'm still with my parents, still going through my undergraduate study, which costs a hefty amount. What I'll do is I definitely won't jump into it immediately. I'll give myself a 5-year gap or a 2-year gap. Go to work first, get a stable financial income. Make sure that you have a stable money coming in. Slowly invest in your business. If you feel like you want to buy a MacBook Pro to edit your videos that cost 10,000 ringgit, work. You will go to work first, save that money. You can even do freelance jobs. You know what I mean? If you're an image consultant, you want to open an image consultancy company, why don't you do it freelance? Maybe 1 person at a time, 2 people at a time. Grow your brand, let people recognize you. And then when you have enough funding, open. It's like, how to say, you know the movie Ants, or if I'm not mistaken, Ants, where they collect all those little things. You have to do it one by one. You don't just get it like the grasshoppers. You get it like the ants. You build on it little bit, a little by a little, and then you can harvest your savings. And definitely savings is very important. If you're talking about financial, you have to be very disciplined. As for support, like I said, whether you get support or not, that doesn't determine your worth. It doesn't matter. Maybe your mom doesn't support you this year. Maybe next year she sees that you're working really hard, that you love what you're doing, you're staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning and you're doing it. She will learn that because she loves you, she will support you.
Absolutely.
And it's as simple as that. The people who genuinely love you, genuinely care for you, will stand by your side. Those who don't, then you should know what you need to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what I would add for Patty there is, speaking of, adding to what Dhyvia said, is that, you don't usually get support until people see you put some skin into the game. People are not necessarily going to jump behind you until they see you actually, putting in the time, investing here and there before they, this person seems to be really serious. Okay, so now we're going to get behind. So you have to make sure that you keep your documentation so persons can see what your journey has been like.
Yes, because this is very important. I think a lot of older generation always say this about the Gen Z, the millennials, They all talk but no show. So maybe you're just really all talk, no show. I'm going to say, Terry, I'm going to build a house. I'm going to build it 2 stories with a big balcony and a swimming pool. I keep saying this to you. But until you see me, take a shovel, take some concrete, go put that brick down, slap it down, sweat it, and then you would come and sit with me and probably help me. Instead of just, she said she's going to build a house, but I don't know when. She's just keeps saying it. I think it's been 2 years now. Has she built one?
Correct.
Yeah.
So Dhivya, last question. Can we get some advice for students? You should be great on this because you're still a student. Can we get some advice for students on how we can build and balance this goal, with our student life? So you're a student and an entrepreneur. How do we balance that?
That's complicated. Even I'm trying to learn through that process. But I guess we set our priorities. I have a cute calendar where I write my deadlines. Sometimes even that I miss, I look at it, or I'm not the best. I'm not A+ at managing time. I'm probably around a B-. But definitely set your priorities. If you need to know your workload, don't overpromise. If you can't do it, if you cannot say, I think I can do it. No, make sure you know you can do it. If you promise a client wants your article in 2 days, they call you up, say, can you do it in 2 days? You said, hang on, let me check my schedule. Look at it, make sure that you don't have anything else, and then you commit yourself. Don't say, sure, no problem, I'll manage it. And then you see that you have 3 assignments to submit and you haven't started any of it. So are you going to drown, or are you just going to try to stay afloat?
Absolutely.
No,
for sure. Priorities and coming with priorities, as you rightly said, means that you have to be able and be disciplined enough to say no. You can't be everything to everyone. You can't be everywhere. It's just impossible. And so a lot of persons don't want to disappoint. So their plates keep on piling up because, as you say, they overpromise, but you underdeliver.
I'm still trying to I'm still trying to learn to say no.
I've mastered it. I have totally mastered it. And I found that when I start,
I admire you.
And it goes back to your priorities. Your responses go back to your priorities. If this is my priority, the thing that's coming in, whether it's a request, I naturally look at that request and I go, will this distract from this priority? Will this take away from this priority? Will this, make it difficult for me to deliver? And if the answer is then it becomes I'm so sorry, but I can't meet this one right now. Could we extend? Is there an alternative?
Yes.
But at this particular point,
definitely.
And I maintain credibility and integrity by being able to not overpromise, but always deliver. So Shelby, I hope we gave you some good answers. And pace yourself, Shelby. Another thing, other persons might go faster than you. Don't worry, that's their blueprint. Pace yourself and do what you can do in your time with your resources. Dhyvia, you're amazing. And I just want to wish you all the best. I'm going to keep my eyes on you.
Thank you so much.
How you guys develop.
I definitely have to thank you so much for bringing out this part of me, asking me these questions, making me feel so comfortable. So this has been nothing but amazing.
You're welcome. Whenever I come to Malaysia, I'm coming straight to you.
Yes, please.
I'm happy to connect you guys. I'm really happy to see that you're bonding. This will be an amazing relationship. I think you will be helping each other from different perspectives. Thank you very much. I was just listening I was checking the comments. All the people will rewatch your sessions. They're writing that they didn't even could get there what you were saying, Dhivya. It was so deep. So they have to rewatch the session to learn from you. And 3 or 4 of them wrote that they will do that. They will rewatch this session. So they think
very honored. Very
amazing you are. So keep it up, and thank you, Terry, too. You are an amazing broadcaster. Super perfect questions. Amazing. So see you at another session.
All the best. See you at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Bye. Yeah. Good night. Bye.
Good night, everyone. All right, let's watch a video and then see you at the next broadcast. Don't forget, you can join the sessions from the YouTube channel, from the Facebook site. I pin it on the top, or you can go to your email. You received all the sessions if you registered, and you can also watch it from the website by clicking on the different join in buttons under the sessions. And don't forget, if you are from another time zone, don't worry. These sessions are staying on YouTube and on Facebook, so you can easily go there and just click on the join now like it would be your time, watch the sessions, and still watch and comment on it, because we will check back and we will answer you on this comment field. So see you at the next session. We will go for healthy cooking with Stefan. He sent me a video. It's amazing. It's about him cooking and sharing his wisdom. So see you there at another broadcast link at another session, and enjoy the summit.
It began with a bold vision to build KL Metropolis, a development that would establish a new international trade and exhibition district in Malaysia, built in partnership with the government by NASA Group's property arm, NASA TTDI. The crown jewel of this grand vision is the Malaysia International Trade and Exhibition Centre, the preferred international destination for exhibitions and events. Like the fine gold and silver threads of the Songket weave that inspired its facade design, MyTech is the embodiment of refined craftsmanship, creativity and precision. As Malaysia's largest exhibition centre, MyTech's functional spaces are unprecedented. Primed for exceptional displays, surrounded by state-of-the-art facilities and amenities. This iconic structure affirms a commitment to innovative excellence. It is a showpiece of engineering ingenuity. An enduring icon built for a new Malaysian era of success.